All right, now SABC News reporter Canny Maphanga is following the story and joins us live with the very latest. A very good afternoon to you, Canny. Very interesting application before the Commission today. The Commissioners, as we've heard a bit earlier on, finding it quite difficult to understand the relief sought, in that it's already known to society that Mr. Carrim cannot get out of testifying. It will happen. We heard there Sandile Khumalo going on to state, Commissioner Khumalo, stating that if that is the case, because society already knows, then the threat remains. Just take us through everything we've heard thus far.
Indeed, good afternoon to you, Mfundo, and to the viewers at home. Essentially, what was actually supposed to take place today was the cross-examination of Major General Richard Shabiri, who is the suspended component head for organized crime. He was expected to be tested, rather, on that testimony, which places him in close proximity with alleged cartel members, and then, of course, the subsequent loan and other factors that he needed to answer to and be tested on before the probe. But he has not taken the stand yet, and we don't expect for Shabiri to take the stand today because the Commission has spent quite a number of hours on this postponement, or rather this bid for in-camera hearings by Sulaman Karim. Keep in mind that Sulaman Karim has had quite a few applications before the Madlanga Commission. He was the first person to take them to court in order to block his appearance. This was then followed, after that failed in the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria, or Johannesburg rather, this was then followed by that bid to postpone the testimony, which has since been postponed to the 9th and 10th of March, which is creeping up on us as it is Monday that he is expected to take the stand. Now, with that reality confronting him, there is yet another application before the Commission now, which is to have that particular testimony in camera, and he is citing death threats or the risk of experiencing bodily harm, if you could put it that way, if he testifies in an open session. Now, what has become the norm before the Madlanga Commission, or what is expected, is that all of these hearings are transparent and are in line with the principles of open justice and are conducted in a public manner. Where there are instances, as we have seen in the previous precedent, if I could put it that way, set in the media applications last year, is that where there is a need for a witness to testify in camera, it is dealt with case by case, and it is done so in a transparent manner before the nation's glare. So essentially, because of that reality, what took place is that they bid to have the actual application heard in camera first was actually refused by retired Justice Madlanga. And now what you're seeing is the merits by Advocate Kameel Premhid being argued before the Commission to try and advance these grounds that he is in such a predicament that he has to testify in camera, or there is that significant risk for him to face any bodily harm or the risk of death. Now, he cites quite a number of instances before the Madlanga Commission. I know there was a withdrawal with regards to the claims of deaths, but he does claim the risk surrounding witness D, Marius van der Merwe, or of course Weandre van Pretorius, if we could put it that way. Now, the difficulty with the cases that he cites as a significant risk is that those are still undergoing police investigations. There's actually no fact or finding to suggest that these persons died or were killed in an apparent hit as a result of the appearance before the Madlanga Commission. We know that several motives are being investigated by the police, and they're yet to pronounce on the motives or circumstances leading up to those deaths. So it's difficult for the Commission to accept that that is enough ground to say that he should testify in camera. There's also the reality that several other witnesses that are facing significant threats, such as IPED investigators that have appeared and have intimated that they are still working on those investigations, where it has been proven that at the very least it has been a dangerous terrain for them to confront and work in. But they testified here. Even the IPED investigator, that is Nomsa Masuku, whose child was subjected to a dangerous attack, testified here, gave the evidence, and is continuing with her investigations. And of course, Tulani himself, the other IPED investigator, is still continuing with the investigations relating to Julius Mkhwanazi, and also gave a hint that an arrest is looming, or possible further action is looming with respect to those cases. So there are no sufficient grounds at this stage which substantiate the claim that if he comes and testifies in that public open platform, which which the Madlanga Commission is, that he places himself at significant risk or at the risk of death. Now, we know that this particular bid by Sulaman Karim's lawyers is opposed, and we expect that after the lunch adjournment, Advocate Adila Hassim, that is the evidence leader concerned in this particular bid, will give her arguments as to why it's possibly not necessary for this particular witness to testify in camera, and how these particular concerns raised by the Counsel for Suleiman Karim do not meet that test for him to advance successfully before the Commission, that he should be able to testify in camera. Of course, it will raise other concerns if the Commission does allow this. However, we are expecting those arguments to follow and then a ruling to be given by the Commission's bench. Of course, if he is successful, that means that his testimony will be behind closed doors on Monday and Tuesday. But if not, the nation will get a full insight as to what his responses to the very serious allegations against him before the probe.
Canny Maphanga, thank you very much for that comprehensive summation. SABC News reporter there who continues to monitor the proceedings at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. We take you back at 2 p.m. sharp.